Hi, and welcome to Wisdom with Grace Yoga. My name is Sophie, and on this channel, I am your manifesting yogini. This is part of our series titled Phases of Manifestation. I have a slow flow yoga practice today for the luteal phase of your menstrual cycle, or if you don't have a menstrual cycle during the waning moon. This phase is the closing of the cycle as you near the new moon or menstruation. During this phase, you might find yourself wanting to slow down and reflect. I titled this phase in the manifestation process as Letting Go to Let In. It's a time when obstacles in the way of your manifestation might rise to your awareness to be overcome and released. It is said in the Yoga Sutras that the obstacles to overcome or dissolve are the 5 kleshas. If you'd like to learn more about the kleshas or yoga philosophy, you can head on over to my Instagram page, link in the description. During this time, I have a personal practice where I journal emotional and mental things down that I'm ready to let go of. You can also practice a parigraha at this time by getting rid of physical items, purging your closets, or cleaning out emails and getting hair cut, etc. This can be a time if you have a menstrual cycle that you can experience some symptoms. In Ayurveda is said, whatever your dominant dosha is normally can become dominant at this time, creating the symptoms that you experience. For example, if you're a pitta, you might be more irritable, or kapha, you might feel more sluggish. So when looking for a yoga practice that is tailored specifically to your needs, a general luteal phase practice might not be ideal. You might want to look to more Ayurvedic specific practices or diets as a reference point if that interests you. You might like a blanket or some blocks for this practice if you have them. And when you are ready, put some of your favorite music on and let's begin. I'm going to recommend Supta Baddha Konasana for today. Bring the soles of the feet together and the knees out wide. If this is too much, you can always grab some supports here. I actually recommend you please grab some blocks or blankets or pillows underneath your knees. I don't have anything today. If you don't have anything either, it's too much, you can always just come back to bringing your soles of the feet to the mat. Taking a moment here to center and ground. Bring your sense perception to the space around you, noticing the sounds and the smells, the temperature of the air. Noticing the physical body, feeling into any spaces you may be gripping onto. Beginning to ask yourself, how can you relax deeper? Where can you let go? Observing the breath, noticing how it participates with the body, with the air around you. Connecting all these parts together. Notice how the breath is able to deepen and relax the body a little further. How does the breath begin to change your sense perception of the space around you, if it does at all? Perhaps you begin to notice the breath get a little deeper, Exhales get a little longer. From here, walk the soles of the feet back to the mat, moving into our bridge pose. Feeling first the hips, the mid-back, and the chest starts to float up to, and just holding here in our bridge, allowing some warming through the thighs. From here, lifting the heels up off the earth and slowly moving down one vertebrae at a time. The hips are last to arrive. From here, lifting the hips up just slightly, rocking over onto the right hip, just slightly onto the right glute, drawing the knees into the chest and over to the right hand side, keeping the knees tucked in. The left shoulder stays grounded to the earth, and perhaps the gaze towards the left hand. The arms in a T by your side, or placing the right hand on top of the left knee to add a little bit more here to the twist. And breathing in through the belly, allowing it to soften. And hands out wide, drawing the knees back to center. Placing the feet on the floor just to adjust the hips again. Rocking over onto the left glute. Draw the knees into the chest and over to the left. Perhaps gazing towards the right fingertips if that feels okay in your neck. And bringing the left hand to the right knee. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, drawing the knees back to center. Place the feet on the floor and adjust the hips back to center and bringing the inner edges of the feet together so the big toes touch. And from here, we're going to lift up into a closed leg bridge. So lifting the hips once again. And from here, open the knees wide. So now we're in a bit of a floating Supta Baddha Konasana with the hips lifted. You'll see if you can bring the knees all the way down to the earth. They probably won't reach, but we're just feeling those outer hip muscles, groin muscles work. And then exhale, bring the knees back together and float the hips back down to the earth. Draw the knees into the chest and give them a squeeze. Bring the knees out wide, flex through the feet, and come into a happy baby pose, reaching the peace fingers for the big toes, or bringing the hands on the back of the hamstrings. If you can't grab the peace fingers around big toes, then grab for the inner thighs. And release. Let's just roll over onto the right hand side. And press your way up. To all fours. For a few gentle cat-cows, inhale, the belly drops. The gaze lifts. Exhale, round through the spine, chin tucks under, moving in unison with breath. Noticing here where the movement starts in your body. Does it start in the tailbone, in the head, and the chest, back? It's safe to do so. You can do this with eyes closed, deepening the experience, moving in unison with breath. Are you able to slow the breath down and slow the movement down? And from here, walking the hands just a palm's distance forward. Tuck the toes under, press the hips back, down dog. Any movement here you'd like in your down dog, pedaling out the feet, saying yes or no with the head. We wiggle the jaw back and forth, rocking the hips side to side. Just waking up the body, getting it ready to move. You can also find stillness here. Inhale. Exhale, release the knees back down. Bring them about mats width apart. Toes together. Sit the hips back into a child's pose, reaching the palms forward. Forehead to the mat and setting your personal intention for the luteal phase or waxing moon. And with the theme of this phase being letting go, perhaps think of one thing that you're letting go of. Something maybe you're holding on to. They don't need to be, maybe some pettiness. There's something that's just not serving you anymore. Maybe it's just one word. And when you have that, inhale, lift the torso up slightly, walking over to the right hand side. And gently press the left hip back. Find a side bend through the left side body, perhaps placing the left hand on top of the right. Breathing here. Back to center, lengthening through the sides of the waist. And exhale over to the left side, placing the right hand on top of the left. And taking a moment here. Returning back to center. And coming up onto your knees. If you need a blanket here, you might like if your knees are a little sensitive, you might like a blanket. Stepping the right foot forward and gently squeezing that left glute just slightly as we press the hips forward and down. From here, bringing the right hand to the right hip. You can also bring it to the right knee here, pressing firmly through the back foot. It can be tucked or untucked. Inhale, reach the left hand up overhead and side bend over to the right. Back to center, reach both hands forward and twist open to the right. Reach that left hand forward and release the left hand down. Right hand reaches towards the sky. From here, tuck the back toe under and lift the back knee up off the ground. Inhale. Exhale, release both hands to the inside of the right foot and turn yourself all the way to the long edge of the mat into a wide-legged forward fold. You can do whatever you want with your hands here. Heels come in, toes come slightly out, so they're just about a 45-degree angle. And bringing your elbows to right above your knees, we'll sit the hips back and press the elbows into the knees to open them and gently press back. Find some resistance here back into the elbows. Sitting nice and low, bring the hips back. The back is flat. And exhale, fold forward once again, straighten through the legs. Walk yourself all the way to the back of the mat. Step the left foot back into a down dog. Lifting high up onto the balls of the feet, shifting forward onto the toes. Shoulders stack over wrist into your plank pose. If this is too much, drop the knees. Elbows point towards the back of the mat. Keep the head lifted as you slowly lower all the way to the earth. Hands drag towards the feet, chest pulls forward, arching up into Bhujangasana Cobra Pose. Keep a lightness through the hands. You can even lift them up off the floor and grounding through the pelvis here. Exhale, lower back down, tuck the toes under, pressing either back up into a plank if you're feeling strong, otherwise right onto hands and knees once again. Lifting the knees, pressing the hips back into down dog. Cat-cow is also a nice alternative for vinyasa anytime. Inhale, exhale, release the knees back down to the earth. Come right back to standing onto your knees. Stepping the left leg forward. Shift the hips slightly forward and down. Left hand to left hip or a block or to the knee. Right hand reaches up overhead. This might feel like a lot in the hip flexor. And back to center. Reach the palms forward, thumbs facing up, and twisting open to the left. Reach that right hand forward, place it on the ground. Left hand reaches towards the ceiling. Tuck the back toe under and lift the back knee up off the floor. Place that left hand to the inside of the left foot and step that right foot to the outside of the right hand, turning the toes out, heels come in and sit down into a Malasana squat. Tailbone down, heart lifts. You can press into the knees with the elbows and gently press back. And see if you can release the elbows and see if you can widen the knees a little farther. Release the hand, tuck the chin under, and lift the hips back and up. Heel toe the feet in for a forward fold. Pressing through the feet, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Slowly taking your time to savor each movement and postures today. Finding yourself into a Tadasana mountain pose. Lift and spread the toes, feeling the arches of the feet lift, and release them back down. From here, finding weight into the right foot, just lift the left leg and find a balance here. Pressing down through the right foot, perhaps swaying the knee left and right. Keep your focus on a point in front of you on the floor, a few feet in front of you on the floor, your drishti focal point, and release the right foot down. We'll do that on the other side. So find your balance here and swaying the knee. And release the right foot down to meet the left. Broadening out through the collarbone, stretching the fingers towards the floor, soft bend through the knees. Inhale, sweep the arms up towards the sky. Perhaps a little arch back. Exhale, bow forward over the legs. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift, hands to shins, elongating through the spine. Exhale, step back with the right foot. Come into the low lunge. Keep the right knee lifted for this one. And we'll move into our high lunge, lifting high onto the ball of the back foot. Reach the fingertips back behind you. And inhale, rising up to our high lunge. Arms can reach overhead. Lengthen the ears away from the shoulders. Hands through to heart center, twisting to the left-hand side. Perhaps hooking that right elbow on top of the right knee, pressing through the hands, and twisting open. If you need to drop the back knee, go right ahead. And from here, as we twist open, we'll move into a warrior two. We'll drop the right heel down and move right into our Virabhadrasana 2. Nice deep bend through the left knee, stacking the shoulders over the hips, stretching the fingers in line with the shoulders, gazing over the left fingertips. Flip that left palm towards the sky and shift the torso slightly forward, up and back. Reverse your Virabhadrasana. Reverse your warrior. Inhale. And exhale, coming right back through to warrior two. Bring the hands at heart center and turn the right toes out, heel in. And we'll sit right down into our goddess squat. You can bring your hands into goddess arms. Notice here your knees. Make sure they're tracking towards the middle toes and not going in or out. Adjust the feet accordingly. Inhale, straighten through the legs. Exhale, turn the left toes in so the back foot's parallel with the back of the mat, and warrior two to the other side. gazing over the right fingers. Flip the right palm, reach the right fingers slightly forward, up and back, and reverse your warrior. Exhale right back to warrior 2. Release the hands, right then left, and step back the right foot to meet the left into a down dog. Inhale forward into plank, lowering down, arching up, Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Exhale, pressing up and back, right through to down dog. Step the right foot forward between the hands, right through to that low lunge. Reach the arms back behind you. Inhale, rise up to your high crescent lunge. Hands at heart center here. Here's your option for a twist. Twisting to the right, perhaps hooking the left elbow right atop the left knee. Pressing into the hands, twist a little more. Drop the back knee if you need. Inhale. Exhale right through to a wide-legged forward fold. Turn all 10 toes forward and right back to a second wide-legged forward fold. Bring your hands to your hips, elbows squeeze in. Inhale with a flat back to your 5-pointed star. And jump or step the feet together to the center of the mat. Moving into our tree pose. Grounding through the left foot. Lifting the right knee up hip height. You can place the sole of the foot right on the ankle joint, on the calf, or maybe reaching for the ankle and placing it high on the inner thigh. Find your drisdi, your focal point, and balance here. Hands can remain at heart center or reaching overhead. Are you able to find those muscles in the hips to open that hip? That can help here. And we've used all class. One more breath. Exhale, release the right foot down. Other side, lifting the left knee. Hip height, just to find your balance to start with. And then opening the left knee out to the left, maybe placing the foot down low or as high as it can go. And there's no shame in holding onto a wall or a chair here if your balance is wobbly, or keeping the foot nice and low to the earth. When you're ready, coming out of this, and step to the front of your mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bow forward over the legs. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping back right through to a down dog. One final vinyasa of class, if it's calling to you. Lowering down halfway, tricep push-up, chaturanga, or all the way, exhale, pressing back, down dog. So I'm going to teach a no prop pigeon pose today. So release the knees to the earth and come to a seat. Drawing the right shin parallel with the front of the mat. The left foot comes behind you, and I'm not too concerned of where that left foot is at this moment. We want to flex through the right foot. And with a straight back, long spine, leaning forward over the right leg, you might find the intention of this pose is to get a bit of a stretch here through the outer hip that we work today. If you don't feel anything or you have a strong pigeon pose already, maybe you can lean over onto the right and walk that left leg back. If you do so, the knee is to the earth. You can even come up and twist over the right knee to peek behind. Make sure that foot is aligned with the hips. And this is your pigeon pose here. And it's a no prop pigeon pose because if your hip is lifted really high here, then you need a prop underneath your hip. Because we came into this way, the hip stays grounded the entire time. We're not lifting that up off the floor. So our knees stay in alignment here and aren't being twerked around. And noticing here, where can you let go? Any places you're gripping onto that you don't need to be. Taking one more breath to come out of this, rock over onto the right hip and draw the left leg forward. Let's stay here for a moment with the right shin forward, the left shin back behind you, and twist to the right, reaching the left hand back behind you. And returning back to center and just switch the legs. Left shin is forward, right shin is behind you. Flex through that left foot. Stay grounded here with the left hip to the earth. Lengthen through the spine and lean forward over the leg. And with the left hip still grounded, perhaps you can walk that right foot back, tuck the toes under, and maybe twisting open to the left. One more breath here. And rocking over onto the left hip to draw that right knee close if it's not already. Coming up and twisting to the left, reaching the right hand back behind you, like you're reaching for the lake. And then back to center. And from here, come to a seat. Shoulders are stacked over hips, and we're not straining here, just finding a nice comfortable seat to practice Nadi Shodhana, alternative nostril breathing. This can be a great breath to practice during your luteal phase if you experience any irritation, anxiety. This can be a nice calming breath to practice. So the two fingers traditionally are folded in, and placing the right thumb onto the right nostril, and the pinky is there for the left. And we'll start on the left side, inhaling through the left nostril, closing the left nostril, exhaling through the right. Inhaling through the right, closing the right, exhaling through the left. And inhale through the left, closing the left, exhaling through the right. And continue like this for about 9 or so breaths. And you may feel a shift in your energy. Once you feel that shift or you've completed 9 or so breaths, please come to reclined on your back for final resting posture, Shavasana. This is where I leave you in practice today. Once you feel that shift in your body or you've completed 9 or so rounds, please take your time moving into reclined on your back for Shavasana. This is where I leave you in practice and I magically turn into my cat. If you don't know what Shavasana is, I have a meditation playlist with a guided Shavasana where all your questions will be answered on what that is, if you'd like to scroll down to the description. Otherwise, please take some time for meditation and processing of the practice today. I would say meditation is really important, especially during this phase of your cycle, just to process and integrate the things coming up and out during this time. I hope you have a very pleasant luteal phase, and thank you for joining me. Namaste.